This conference will now be recorded.
In the previous session, we started developing a search page by using Lightning Aura component, and where we added that search page is nothing but an opportunity record page. In the opportunity record page, go to opportunities, okay, go to opportunity, take any one of this record, take any one of the record and entity search, and this is my search page. Okay, this is my search component. Now we want to find which component here we are choosing. This is entity search is a tab. Under this tab, we added the lightning component, whether it is a Aura or LWC. We want to find which component this UI is from which component. How to find is nothing but go to the record page. Go to the record page. Go to setup. Click on edit page. Okay, click on edit page, and the next one is click on the edit page and click on the edit page. Now go to entity search, click on this lightning component. In the right hand side here you have to observe, in the right hand side here you have to observe search lightning component underscore batch 05. This is my lightning component. Okay, this is my lightning component. Now go to the developer console, go to the developer console. Okay, and go to the developer console. From the developer console, we are trying to opening our lightning component. Go to developer console and our lightning, how to open a lightning component, existing lightning component. Go to file, open lightning resource, and my lightning component name is search lightning component batch file. Okay, search lightning component batch file. This is my lightning component. Okay, this is my lightning component. In the previous session, what we discussed, we created one lightning component. See, this is our lightning component bundle. This lightning component bundle is a combination of 8 items, right? This is the first one, that is nothing but component. This is the second one, that is nothing but a controller. This is nothing but third item, that is nothing but helper. That is nothing but helper. From the helper, what we are doing? We are communicating with the server. We are communicating with the server. From the server, what we are doing? We are passing our request to the controller. Controller is nothing but Apex class here. Controller is nothing but Apex class here. In Apex class, where we are passing our request to the method we are passing here. We are passing here. So now coming into the component one, now coming into the item one. Item one, technically we will call it as a component. What is the purpose of the component? To take the data from the user, or to display the data from the user, or to declare the variables. Now what is our requirement? What is our requirement? To develop a search page. To develop a search page. So which tag we are going to use? Lightning input to text tag here we are using. And along this one we need a button, right? Lightning colon button and type is equal to brand we are using. Okay, this is a text box and this is a command button. Suppose user he will enter the text, this text data, based on this text data only we are trying to search, right? So this data we have to store temporarily. This data we have to store temporarily. Where we have to store temporarily is nothing but attributes. So we will just go and declare one attribute, aura colon attribute name, attribute name, and the type is equals to what kind of data we are storing. Then what is my next step? So we have to tell to this text box whatever the user enter, right? That data you have to store into here. That data here you have to store into this particular variable. How we are telling? By using value attribute we are telling. By using value is equals to v dot that variable name. Then the next one is whenever user click on this particular button, what is the next step? What is the next step? Whenever user click on this particular button, on click we are using on click, we have different attributes are there. Here we are using on click. Whenever user click on this particular button, what we are telling to this button? You have to go to the second item. So how it know exactly it should go to the second item? In the sense, this is a framework. Aura, we are trying to developing a lightning component by using Aura framework. Framework means they design like that. Whenever an event occurred, our request it will go to this particular item, from this item as your wish. Okay, from this item as your wish. Here they designed a framework like that. Whenever any event occurred, you have to pass our request to the second component only. The second component, technically we will call it as a controller. Here also we have a controller, and here also we have a controller. This is terminology, we will call it as a client side controller, and here we will call it as a server side controller. So how we are telling to this button, we are using on click is equals to C means controller, client side controller, and this is a function. This is a function means the second file is completely JavaScript file. The second file and the third file is nothing but a JavaScript file. Okay, here we are using function. Here we are using function. We are forwarding our request to this particular function. So this is our the first component. See, this is our component which we discuss here. Lightning input type is equals to text label, and value is equals to this one. This is a button, and here implements we are using because of where we are using this lightning component. And the next one is nothing but we are telling to this button you have to pass your request to this particular method in the sense means function, where this button it will search in the second item only. It will go to the second item. So from the second item what we are doing, we will call the server side apex class from the second component also. But generally what we will do is we will pass our request to the helper. From the helper we will communicate with the apex class. How to pass our request to the helper in the sense means in the helper also we will define one function. The same function we have to call it. The same function here we are calling. We are doing the same thing. Search controller helper, this is my function name. This function, where is this function? This function is nothing but in the helper. Helper is nothing but third item. What is the reference for the helper? Helper is nothing but this one. We have to use the reference helper dot this one. Suppose I will not use a helper, then what system it will do? It will search in the current file only. The second item only it will search. It will search in the current item only. In the current item only this method is there, it will search. No, this method is in the third item. The third item name is nothing but helper. The reference for the third item is nothing but helper only. Now coming into the third item. What is our target? We are, the user is entering some data. That data have to take, based on that data we have to perform search. So it will give the result. That result we have to display to the user. So these type of business logic, why I am calling it as a business logic in the sense means I am taking the input, based on that input where we are searching, or we are doing insert, or we are doing update in the object level, right? Object level in the sense means these type of operations we will always do at the method level only, not at the client side. Searching in the object, I want to search for the data in the object, we want to update the data, we want to insert the data. All these type of operations will perform at the server side only. So server side in the sense means in the method only. So this is my method. Now in this method what I will do, the method syntax. Before writing a method we have to write a class. This is my class. Okay, this is my class and this is my method. Now we have to tell to the lightning component, so which one we are using, which controller we are using. So in that controller only it will search. How to tell in the sense means, go to the component one and you have to use the controller attribute. Okay, now here coming into the apex class. So this class should be a public static, return type should be anything, and method name should be anything. And but at the top of this method we have to use aura enable, whether it is this method is using by the lightning component, aura component, or lwc component. Always we should use aura enable. What do you mean by aura enable? Means we are telling to this method, this method is exposed to lightning component. So like any lightning component will access this particular method. Suppose I will not use our enabled method, then what it will happen? I am trying to calling. How we are calling from this particular component? C component dot get c dot that particular method, right? It will throw an error message, because there is no method. I am not able to find this method. So what is the next step? We have to go and add our enabled annotation. Now go to this particular class. Where is this class? Go to this particular class. Okay. Go to this class. In the previous session we created this class, right? Go to this class. How to open an existing class? Go to your file, open resource. This is my class. This is my class. Open this one. This is my class. public class name, and this is the method name. This is a method name, and this is a syntax. Based on our requirement, we are using return type as a list of account. On the top of this method, we are using our enabled annotation, and this method is taking input that is nothing but string. That is nothing but string. So that is nothing but string here. So based on this input, we are trying to searching accounts. So in the account, which fields we are fetching? In account means a lot of fields are there. In account record, lot of fields are there. We are fetching only ID name. ID name. As a result, how many accounts we will get? One account, two accounts, three accounts, five accounts. We are not sure, right? That's why I'm using list of account. Finally, I have list of account. Finally, I have list of account. So I want to give. So I'm from the control from the helper. We are trying to calling a method. I'm requesting server. You have to call this particular method. So while calling this method, I am passing some input. Some input we are passing. Based on that input, it will perform business logic. Finally, that business logic, it will give some result. Boss, I executed. It will give that result to the server. From the server, again we will take that back that particular result. Okay, that we will take that result back. So this is Apex class method, and this method it will take the input, that is a string parameter, and the next one is it will give the result, that is nothing but list of account, that is nothing but a list of account. Now coming into here, coming into the helper. So here you have to observe we are using alert box and console.log. This is for our for debug client side debug statements. Generally we will use console.logs only, and alert. So suppose we will use once our application is completed, while giving this application to the client, we have to remove. Otherwise unnecessarily we will get some pop-ups, right? So that's why we have to remove this one. Console.log, no need. Okay, no need. It will not user is not able to see this log. It will produce in the browser level. Okay, it will produce in the browser level. Now what is my next step? This method is there, this method is ready, and the business logic is ready. Then what is my next step? Call that particular method. Call controller method. Okay, call controller method. How to call controller method? Okay, we will just go and get the syntax from the Google. So call controller method, call server side method from Lightning Aura component. Okay, no need to remember the syntaxes. We have to remember some step. Exact syntaxes no need to remember. Okay, so see, I'm using component dot get up. Okay, component dot call controller method, component dot get. Component means here they are using cmp. I'm using this. The variable name is as our wish. What is your method name? My method name is nothing but this one, right? Search account. Search account. This is my method name. So this method, which what it is taking? It is taking some inputs, right? See here, it is taking the inputs. Now I have to set the inputs for that particular method. So we need a reference. The reference variable. This is a JavaScript file, right? Everything we will declare as a variable. Here my variable name is nothing but action. Why we are using always action? In the sense that generally everyone will use the name as the action only. Is it mandatory? Means no, it is not mandatory. I will just go and use RR, any name. Here I am using action. So we are trying to calling one method. That method is at the server side. The reference for that particular method is nothing but action. Then what is my next step? What is my next step? So here you have to observe action dot here, action dot set param. We have to set the parameters, right? See, this is my method. I'm just copying this method. See, this is my method, right? This is my method. So we are trying to call in component dot get of c dot such. We have to use c. Just observe c. Okay, c is nothing but controller. Which controller? Server side controller. Yes, while calling this method, which one it will receive? It will receive one parameter. What is that parameter? Name, account name. So for this parameter, which data we have to pass? So we are trying to getting from this particular variable, right? So we are calling the method. While calling the method, we are trying to passing the data, the such name data. This data we are collected the data from the user. That data I am passing into this particular variable. So now what we have to tell to the system, boss? You have to execute. You have to execute. How to tell to the system? So by using this statement, $a.enquaction, $a.enquaction. call this method. While calling the method, you have to pass the input. The input is nothing but this one to this particular variable. Yes, once everything is prepared, then you have to start your execution. Then this method it will execute. Once it executed, what it will do, it will give the result. The result is what? Which data type? List of account type. That result I have to take and I have to display to the user. That result we have to take and display to the user. Now how to collect the result? How to collect the result is nothing but we will just go and use action dot set callback. See, now we have to collect the result. Action dot set callback. Action dot set callback. Now go to here. This is the syntax. So action dot set callback. Action dot set callback. Now we are collecting the result. The result it will store into this particular variable. The variable name is nothing but response. Is it mandated to give the variable name as a response? No, I will just go and use any name also. A also I will give. But generally, this is the indication, right? We are collecting the response. Okay, we are collecting the response here. We are collecting the response. Okay. Now, once we are getting a response, so first what we have to do? First of all, you are completely executed or you are getting error or it is success or failure, that we have to check it. Once we will check, yes, you are success, you are telling you are success, then I will collect the result. So that's why first we have to get the status. See here, response dot get state. We have to get the state. Directly we will not get the result. Suppose I will directly get the result, what it will happen? Nothing will happen. Suppose any error is there, then it will show any error. Suppose this method it will not execute and it will give some errors, then what it will happen? What it will happen? So our code it will not work properly. So your question is, boss, I will not get this a success, whether it is a success or failure, I will not get. I will directly get this result. What happened? Nothing will happen. But we have to follow some proper format, right? Format in the sense means, suppose you will directly call this particular response dot get return value. Okay, without checking the state whether it is a success or incomplete or error. Sometimes it is incomplete. Sometimes that is incomplete. That time what it will happen? It will display an error to the user, right? User doesn't understand. Which type of error it will display. It doesn't understand, right? It doesn't understand. That's why we have to follow some pattern. First you have to check the state. If it is success, then we will collect the result. If it is incomplete, then we have to display some error message to the user. But it is some there is some network issues while calling that apex class method. There is some network issue while calling some apex class method. Again you have to perform some click. Suppose any error is there, then we have to display some error messages. Then we have to display some error messages. That is only the reason. Otherwise we want to call directly response that get return value means, yes, we can call it. So suppose while calling this method, suppose any errors, so this method it will automatically display not different types of errors, different types of error message it will show. So the client doesn't understand, right? Doesn't understand. That's why generally what they will do is, first they will collect the state, whether it is success or not. Variable state is equals to cf. Variable state is equal to response dot get state. Response, this is a variable name. Get state. If it is success, if state is equals to success, then what we will do? If state is equals to success, state is equals to success, then what we have to do? We have to get the response, right? We have to get the response dot get return value. Suppose state is equal to incomplete. What do you mean by incomplete? Suppose I will click on the button, it will come into my helper. From the helper it will come into server. While calling, there is some network issues, that is the processing is incomplete, right? The processing is incomplete. Okay, error means the backend logic error. Backend logic, some data is not there, some other error that is related to the error. Success means everything is fine. So here everything is fine, right? Then what we have to do? What is my next step? So I'm calling this particular method. This method is saying I'm executed successfully. I will give the result. You have to receive. Yes, that result what we have to do. That result what we have to do. So now what I will do is I will just go and collect that particular result. Response dot get return value. This is my result. This is my result. This result what we have to do? What we have to do? So this is a list of account, right? This list of account I want to display to the user. I want to display to the user. So I'm getting some result. That result I want to display to the user. So how to display to the user? So first of all, we have to store this result temporarily in the attributes. So directly there is no option. Directly here this is getting the result, right? This result I will go to here component level and I will give it to, I will directly use this result. No, there is no option. So when we are calling from the helper, we are calling, right? So the result also it will give to the helper, the result also it will give to the helper. So we have, I mean, we have some doubts. Suppose here we are taking the result, right? That result response that get return value, why we will not directly use at the component level? No, we will not use directly at the component level. So we are calling this method, right? So this method it will come to the server, from the server again it will give the result to the helper only. So in the helper we are collecting that result. Response dot get return value is nothing but result. That result I have to display to the user. That result is which type, which type that result, that result is the list type, right? So that's why at the component level we are again declaring one variable, aura colon attribute name is equals to variable name type is equals to list, type is equals to list. We have attributes. Okay, go to here, aura colon attribute in lightning. Okay, aura colon attribute in lightning, I'm talking about this type is equal to list, right? So yes, scroll down here, scroll down. Basic types is nothing but this one, basic data type is nothing but boolean date datetime, this one. Now coming into object types, object type is equals to object. Okay, collection types, the collection type is nothing but, see here, aura colon attribute name is equals to this type of, this type of I mean array also we will declare some, we will declare like this, aura colon attribute name is equals to this one, type is equals to list. In this list default values are in this format, but we are not declaring any default value. We are trying to declaring one variable. In this variable data type I am declaring it as a list. See here, list data type is there, map data type is there, array data type is there, set data type is there, right? Set data type, here I am taking list. Why we are taking a list only? You have to take it as a map. Now go to here, this method what it is returning, map it is returning or list it is returning? It is returning a list. That's why I'm taking the attribute type as a list. So we declared one variable, my variable is ready at the component level. Now what I have to do, go to the helper, this is my helper, go to the helper, component dot, see here, component dot set, we will use it. Previously to get the values we are using in the component level, see here, in the component level attributes are there, attributes are there. Suppose we want to get the value, here component dot get. Suppose we want to set some data, I'm getting this result, here one variable is there, here one variable I want to set the data, component dot set we are using, component dot set v dot this variable name, v dot this variable name. Okay, and what we have to set, what we are trying to setting, this response dot get return value, this response dot get return value we are trying to setting. If state is equals to success, then take the result and you have to set that result into this particular variable, into this particular variable here. See here, now one more thing here you have to observe, I'm just putting like alert boxes. Okay, response from server, response from server. Okay, response from server, I'm just printing directly. Let's see what it will happen. Just observe here, just observe here. Okay, just observe here, and I'm removing this code. Okay, removing this code, this is our complete code, and I'm giving to the user, right? So while once this application is completed, then we have to remove this alert box. Now coming into component, yes, component also saved, controller also saved, right? Now what we will do, I will go to my here. So before going into this one, I will go to my apex class. Instead of 10 rows, what I will do, all rows I will just display only 5 rows. So 5 rows we are trying to display, 5 rows we are trying to display. Now go to here, 5 rows here we are trying to display. Now go to here, refresh this one, refresh this one, refresh, go to entity search, and here you have to enter test, click on the search button, see, enter into input to test. Generally we have to remove these alert boxes once our application has completed. Click on this one, here you have to observe, here you have to observe, response from server in the sense means it is not directly displaying account id type, right? Here you have to observe which field we are querying, id name, it is not displaying directly. This is nothing but serializing, serializing. This is nothing but serializing. So it is giving the response in this format. Okay, we are trying to displaying the response. See, by using alert boxes we are trying to display. See here, just observe this one. What exactly this one we'll discuss in the next session. Whenever we are getting the response, this response, it will not directly display id colon name, id is this one, name is this one, like that. It will not display. It is in the serializable format. Okay, it is in the serializable format it is displaying. Okay, just observe this one. So we are getting a response, right? How many accounts? 1 2 3 4 5 accounts we are getting, right? So under this response we are trying to storing into this particular variable, right? So now we are getting a response, everything is fine. What is my next step? My next step is we want to display the data to the user. So in the table format we want to display. In the visual force pages, how we display the data to the user? By using page block table or by using data table, right? Here how we are going to display the data to the user, I also don't know. What I will do, I will go to the Google, go to here, how to display, data in lightning component, in lightning aura, how to display data in lightning aura. Okay, how to display data in lightning aura is nothing but two options are there. So now we want to display the data to the user. Two options are there. Two options. How to display data to the user. To the user is nothing but two options are there. In the their page block table and data table we are using, right? Here also we have data table is there. Go to here. Display record data in a table. Go to here. How to display data in a table format. Okay, and where this is in lightning, this is LWC. Okay, LWC, forget about this one. How to display data in lightning component, this is not with the green mark, then only it is a correct answer. Go to here, scroll down here, scroll down, custom data format. Here you have to observe data table LDS. Just remember, lightning design system. Okay, anyone will ask, you work with the LDS. Okay, same topic is same, syntaxes are different. LWC or aura, everything is syntax. Lightning design system. Okay, lightning design system, two options are there. Okay, two options are there. Go to here, 1 second. Two options are there, that is nothing but lightning data table. See which format we want. You as aura components, I'm just moving it as a aura component. See which format you want. You want in this format, you want to display the data, you want in this format, click on this one. You want in this format with the checkboxes, you want, click on this one. You want in this format, you are trying to displaying the data in this format, and the next one is in this format you are trying to using. Which format we want to use? So we are just going with the basic data table format. Here our data table, right? So what is the syntax? Scroll down here, scroll down. Lightning data table key field is equals to this one, data column side checkbox. So just remember, two options are there to display the data to the user in the table format. One is data table, lightning data table, and another one is custom table format. Two options are there. Now I want to display the data to the user. So we have to display the data to the user in the sense means generally we will go with the table format. How to create a table in the sense means two syntax. One is standard Salesforce syntax. No need to write any code. See here, lightning data table only we have to use, and this syntax we have to use. By using this one, we will get this data in this format. We will get data in this format. Data is equals to v dot our data, right? Columns. Okay, hide checkbox. We will discuss this. So finally we want to display the data to the user means generally we will display in the table format. How to create a table in the sense means by using data table, lightning data table, or custom table format also I will go. Custom table. So custom table in the sense means we will see the custom table format. Going forward we will see this lightning data table. So now here you have to observe view as a lightning web component, right? Click on view as lightning web component. So this code is here, same tags, right? If they are using lightning data table key field, this is the syntax is different. Basically you want to display the data in which format? We want to display the data in the table format. See, in this format we want, in basic data table format we want. This is the syntax. This is syntax is nothing but templates here. There we are using aura colon component, right? Here we are using template. Here we are using the template. So suppose this is lightning web component. This is lightning web component. Suppose you want to display the data in this format. Here in this format you want to display the data, click on this run button. Which format you want to display the data? So you want to display the data like this. See, numbers are there, right? This is the sample code. Here we are using template. Here we are using template. Here HTML file, JavaScript. So this is web component. So that's why we are saying, suppose we know Aura, LWC is very easy. Now we are working with Aura, right? View as Aura component. Click on the Aura. Now coming into our Aura. So this is our table format. Suppose you want to display the data in the table format, basic data table format. This is the format and this is the syntax. So lightning data table, we will use it, lightning data table, but I am going with the custom table format. We will see. Okay, we will see when we will go with the custom table format. Okay, when we have to go with the standard table format, there is some cases are there. We'll discuss that. Okay, we'll discuss that. Now here we are going with the custom table format. Okay, custom table format in the sense that this is the HTML. This is the HTML only. HTML. So custom table format. We are going with the custom table format. This is my code. I'm just copying this code. I will explain. Okay, I will explain. Custom table format. So how many options are there to display the data in the table format? Two options are there. One is standard lightning data table format and another one is custom table format. Custom table format is nothing but HTML format only. HTML tags are there. See here, HTML tags. Suppose I want to display the data in table format means, right? See here, table. This is the table. Okay, this is completely table. Then you want any header, header also you want table row. So we have to go to w3schools.com. w3 how to create table in html. Okay, in html. Don't put more concentration on the UI design. Okay, my suggestion is don't put more concentration on the UI design. Okay, this is based on the applications, but we have to learn some basic information. Whatever we are discussing, right, that is basic. That information is enough. Don't put more concentration on the UI design. See, this is basic form. This is table format. Click on this one. Click on this one. We are trying to developing one table. So while developing a table, which form, I mean, which tags we are using? See here, table tag. Here we are using, this is a table row and this is a table header and this is another table row. This is under tr means table row. Row. This is th means table header. Table data. Td means table data. Okay, now we are using this basic HTML format only. While using this HTML format, here you have to observe, I'm using SLDS tags. SLDS tags. Okay, we are using SLDS tags. What is this tag? I also don't know. My client will give the information you have to display in this format, then I will go with the standard table format or custom table format. Okay, based on my requirement. I mean, some cases are there. In this case we have to go with the custom table format. I will explain. So while I want to get to the custom code means, I will just go and copy from the Google only. So just I know this is SLDS tag. It will come the data in the lightning format. Okay, in the lightning format. Why they are using SLDS tag, I will explain. What is exactly SLDS tag, I will explain. Now coming into here. Okay, table. We are trying to displaying the data in the table format. While displaying the data, we are using custom table format. Custom table format means this is a basic HTML tags only. See, table is there, right? Table here. Instead of style in the sense, this here CSS. Okay, instead of styles and all those things, I'm using class here. We are using class. This is nothing but style sheets. This is nothing but style sheets. Here we are going with the classes. Here we are going with the classes. These are nothing but SLDS tags. These are nothing but SLDS tags. Why we have to use SLDS tags means, I will explain. So table header, table row, Everything is we will just copy from the Google. Account name, I'm just using account name and account type, two headers only we are using. Remaining things I'm trying to removing this one, removing this one, remove all these things. So now coming into here we are using aura colon iteration tag. Aura colon iteration tag here we are using. Okay, aura colon iteration tag. Go to here, iteration tag is there. We have aura colon iteration tag. Aura colon iteration tag in lightning aura. Aura colon iteration tag. Go to here, iteration tag example. Go to the component library. We have page block table is there, right? Like that, here we have iteration tag is there. We have iteration tag is there here. Okay, now coming into our code, coming into our code. So our, forget, see here I am trying to creating a table. While creating a table I am using this slds tags. Slds tag, these are called slds tags. Why we are using slds tags I will explain. Okay, I will explain. Okay, so here we are using table header. Under this table header, this is a table row, and account name, account to type. Okay, now coming into here, with the, here you have to observe I am using iteration tag. V means what? V means what? This is our list of accounts, right? This list of account here we have to use. Forget about this one, forget about all these things. Okay, just concentrate on this one, aura colon iteration tag I am using. Then where is our variable? Our variable is nothing but this one. Okay, now I want to display each and every value we have to display. Variable is equal to account record. The same thing, same, right? Whatever we discussed previously, the same thing right here. Account record. Okay, account record dot name, same thing, right? Okay, dot name, and the next one is account record dot type. Okay, account record dot type, account record dot type. Try to save this one. We'll see the output, then we'll discuss. Okay, we'll see the output and we'll discuss. Type here we are adding the type, right? Go to here, I will just go and add type here. We'll see the output and we'll discuss. Okay, we'll see the output and we'll discuss. Now go to here, refresh this one. Okay, refresh this one, refresh this one. Now go to here, two times or three times we have to refresh. Click on opportunity and go to here, entity search. I am just entering custom data table format. Here it is coming, test. Click on the search button, input to test. See here, test. It is not coming in the table format. Again we have to go on a display like this. Okay, again I have to go on a display like this. 1 second. Again you have to go on a display like this. Account record dot name and account record dot type. Okay, try to save this one. Now we will just go and verify. I'm just removing all the alert boxes. I am removing. Go to helper, alert box I am removing, and the next one is here also I am removing the alert boxes. Finally this is our output. Now I am trying to display to the, go to here, refresh this one, refresh, go to here, click on entity search, refresh this one, refresh this one, and click on entity search. Okay, click on entity search, enter test, click on the search. See here it is coming, right? 5 records here it is coming, right? So you will get here, yeah. Now coming into your component, here I am using lightning card tag is nothing but here it is coming custom data table format, right? Heading lightning card, this is one tag. Okay, this is one tag. Suppose we want to get any headers like this, headings like this, we will use lightning card, and this is a table, and this is a table. This is a, we are trying to creating a table. This is simple HTML code only. This is simple HTML code. While creating a table, I am using this here SLDS tags we are using. SLDS tags we are using. Why we have to use SLDS tags? Here you have to observe. Here you have to observe. I'm just minimizing this one. Here, is there any impact? The look and feel, is there any impact? Here, I'm just moving my screen like this. I'm just moving my screen like this. Is there any impact? No. Suppose I will like this. Okay, we are changing like this. Is there any impact? So why means because of here we are using SLDS tags. Whenever we are using SLDS tags, what is the impact means? Suppose we will minimize our screen width or we will increase our screen width, it will automatically fit into our screen. It will automatically fit into our screen. These are SLDS tags. These are SLDS tags. Okay, these are SLDS tags. Just concentrate on this part only. Aura colon iteration. This is nothing but page block table only, right? Page block table only. Their value variable, right? Here items. This is a list. Now here we are trying to display in the same format, account record dot name, account record dot type. Here now we want to display the data in the table format. My table header is nothing but this one. I am using card tag. This is a opening tag and this is nothing but closing tag. Now this is table. We want to create a table, but my table should be, suppose I will remove this thing, what it will happen? Suppose I will remove this thing, then what it will happen? See here, try to save this one. Try to save this one. Now go to here, you have to refresh. You have to refresh. SLDS tags, SLDS tags. Why we will use that SLDS tags? Here SLDS tag search, we are getting the output. Suppose we will move, then this look and feel, it will not fit. It will not fit. Okay, that's why we will use SLDS tags here. So suppose we will minimize the screen or increase the screen width, then it will automatically fit. It will automatically fit. That's why generally we will use SLDS tags here. So any questions up to now? So forget about these syntaxes. So we want to display the data in the table. In two ways are there. One is standard table format and another one is custom table format. Custom table format is normal HTML code only. While using these tables, what I am doing is I am using style sheets. I mean that is nothing but class, here is style sheet. Okay, here I am using SLDS tags. SLDS tags we will, why we will use it is nothing but it will fit into the screen. Suppose we will increase or decrease, it will automatically fit into our screens. That's why generally we will use SLDS tag. Now how we are displaying the data into the table format in the sense means we are using aura colon iteration tag. Aura colon iteration tag here. Any questions or any confusion? Any questions or any confusion here? Okay, and one more thing here you have to observe. One more thing here you have to observe. Okay, my suggestion is don't put more concentration on the UI. Suppose you are taking the data and interacting with the backend, and the backend you are performing, finally you are getting the result. That result somehow we are trying to showing to the user, that is enough. Now presently you have to put more concentration on this format. Suppose my table in this format, left hand side I want in this format, in this format I want, that is different case. That is UI design. It will take some time. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, now here you have to observe. Here you have to observe. Go to here. Here you have to observe. Refresh this one. Refresh this one. Click on entity search. Whenever I will click on the entity search, automatically in the below it is showing my table format, right? See, there is some table. Suppose I will give like this. You will ask, boss, what is this custom data table? What is this account name and account type? Still I am not searching. You are displaying this format. I don't like this format. Whenever I will click on the search button, it will give the result. Then you have to display this information. In that way I want. In that way I want. Here you have to observe. My requirement is while loading this page, I don't want to display. Whenever I will click on entity search, my Aura component it will load, right? That time I don't want to display. That time I don't want to display. Then when we want to display, you will click on this, see here, click on this, enter the text, click on the search, then it will go to the controller from the helper to the business and apex class. It will perform the business logic, it will give the result. While displaying the result, that time you have to display this heading and this information. That is my requirement. So that is my requirement. So how we are going to do in Visual Force pages? What we will do, rendered attribute we use it, you remember, show section, hide section, right? Show section, hide section. Here also the same thing, right? When we want to show this one, whenever we are getting the result, right, that time only we want to show this section, right? While loading the page, I don't want to show this section. So how we want to show? Whenever we want to hide whenever we want. Show, hide, show, hide. We have to go Boolean variable. Here there is no render, we will directly go and declare Boolean variable. Try to understand this one. While loading the page, I am getting this section, I don't want this section, I want to hide this section. When we want to show this particular section, whenever we are displaying the result, right, that time we want to show. Then how we are going to achieve this one? Go to here, aura colon, how to declare a Boolean variable. Aura colon attribute name is equal to any variable names or anything. Show section type is equals to which one we are going to use? Boolean. Then what I will do is, so I will tell to this section, boss, you have to display whenever, you have to display when Boolean is equal to this is show section is equals to true, then only you have to show this section. Then only you have to show this particular section. I have to tell to this card, I have to tell to this section, boss, don't show. When while loading only you have, don't show. So here what I will do, I will just make it as a default value as a false. Default value as a false. So what I will tell to this section, boss, whenever I declared one variable, when show section is equals to true, then only you have to show. Then only you have to show. Otherwise don't show. By default, this Boolean variable is equal to false. When we will make it as a true. Now go to the helper. We are getting the result, right? We are getting the result, right? That time I will make it as a true. That time I will make it as a true. Component dot set. What is my variable name? Show section, right? Helper show section, this one. And here what I will do, I will make this variable as a true. We initially we declared one variable, I'm just making this variable as a true. When we are making this variable, whenever it is a success, then only I'm making this variable as a true. Now go to my here, see, by default it is a false. Right now when we will make it as a true, when we will make it as a true, so when we will make it as a true, whenever we are getting the result, that time only we are making it as a true, right? That time only we have to display to the user, right? So how we have to write? Shall we write if condition here? Shall we write if condition? Now go to here, aura colon if, click on the aura colon if. See, this is if condition, right? Aura colon if. What I will do is, I will write like this, aura colon if is true, this variable is equals to true, this variable is equals to true, then only you have to show. Then where we will close our if? Here, aura colon if. We declared one variable, right? Which variable we declared? Boolean variable. By default, what is that value? False. Now what is the second step we are doing? I'm doing second step. Whenever you will get the success, that time I'm making it as a true. Component dot set b dot show section, I'm just making this variable as a true. Now what I am telling to this section, what I am telling to this to this section, boss, don't show. Whenever that variable is equal to true, that time only you have to show. How we are telling to the system? I'm just adding if condition, aura colon if is true, v dot show section, means if it is a true, then only you have to show. When it is a true, while loading it is a false. When it is a true, whenever you will enter data and click on the search button, it will success. That time only we are making it as a true. That time you have to display this particular section. That time you have to display this particular section. Finally try to save this one. Finally try to save this one. Now coming into here, you have to refresh this one. You have to refresh and click on this entity search here. No, it is not coming. Why it is not coming? While loading the page, it will go to here, this is a component, aura colon if is true is equal to v section, it will search for this variable v show section. What is default value? Yes, false. But here it is saying if it is a true, then only I will show, but here it is a false. Then what we will do, I will go to here, click on test. click on search button. See, whenever we will click on the search, it will go to the controller. From the controller, it will go to the helper. It will call the controller method, perform the business logic. It is success. Then this is making this variable. Then here it will come, yes, it is a true. Now it is eligible. Now it is eligible to show this particular section. This is nothing but hide the section or show the section. In Visual Force page, this is a render concept, but in the Aura component or LWC, by using Boolean variables, there is no rendered attribute. Okay, there is no rendered attribute. We have to declare a Boolean variable, and whenever we want to show, that time we will make it as a true. Which we want to show, that you have to go and use Aura colon if. Any questions on this one? Any questions? Okay. Now one more last point. So for example, suppose you will not enter anything. Go to here. Suppose we will not enter anything. Refresh this one. Refresh this one. Suppose you will not enter anything. Click on the search button. Then I want to display an error message. Boss, I want to display an error message. So first of all, we will just go. This is my requirement. That time what I will do, first of all, what it will show. I will go to here, component dot, here, component dot, in alert box I will show here. Alert box I will add it. That is my requirement. Suppose what is my requirement? Suppose you will not enter anything. You will not enter anything. And click on the search button. Then immediately I have to display some error message. Click on the search button. Click on the search button. If we will not enter anything, then immediately we want to display error message. So what we will do is plus component dot get of v dot, what is this variable name? Search name, right? Component dot v dot search name. So search name is, just let's see what it will happen. Okay, search name is, I'm just adding. Suppose we will not enter, then what system it will take? Let's see. Go to here, refresh this one, click on this one, search. Yes, undefined. See here, search name is undefined. It is not taking null. Suppose we will not do any value, then it is not taking any null. It is taking undefined. Then how we are going to handle? How we are going to handle is nothing but go to the Google. So we are clear about the requirement, right? How to check null values in the lightning component Aura. Lightning component Aura. Okay, lightning, how to check null values. Okay, see here, go to here, we have to open each and every link. We have to go to each and every link, and you have to go to here. How to check null value? Go to here. Okay, now this is not suitable, now go to here, scroll down here. We have to observe Aura colon not in is empty. Okay, and now is empty method is there here, but we will not get any clear information. Okay, Aura, how to check null values in lightning component, in lightning Aura component. Okay, how to check empty values in lightning Aura component is empty. Go to here, we have to go to each and every link. We will just go and in the controller, Aura controller. Okay, is empty here. Go to each and every, not here. We see there is no link here, also it is not available. Scroll down here. Okay, scroll down here. No, here also it is not available. 1 second. String values here. This is, I think, axis undefined. It is some suitable, right? Now scroll down here. Yes, here is empty, undefined, right? Is empty, is undefined. Now see here, $a dot util dot is empty. Okay, $a dot util dot is empty. Here you have to go and use this one. So in this way, we know, we are clear about the requirement, right? Whenever click on this button, see here, this is my case. I also don't know. So whenever user click on this particular button, suppose user he will not entered any value, then we have to display error message. This is my requirement. We have to search to the Google, and we have to go to each and every link. We have to take that code, and we have to implement, and we have to see the output. In that way we will learn. Okay, in that way we will learn. Okay, in that way. Now here what we are doing, $a dot util dot is empty, $a dot util dot is empty. So now what I will do is, if, go to here, same thing, if condition, if $a dot util dot is empty, $a dot util dot is empty, and here is empty, what I will do is component dot search name, this is the right component dot search name I am storing into one variable. We search input is equals to this one, $a dot search input is empty. Then, so just for our information, our information, what I will in the next session also we will discuss. So now just observe here, if else condition. Now what I will do, if it is empty, alert. Okay, alert, yes, empty, empty, close, close this one. Now I will just go and verify here. We will just go and test it. Refresh this one, refresh this one, click on entity search, click on this one, search not found, empty, here it is coming into this empty, right? It is not continue our process, right? Now we are clear, right? See here, forget about this one, forget about this one. Okay, please enter search. Here we will not use, we will not use alert boxes, we have toast messages are there, toast messages are there. Toast, how to display error messages in the Lightning Aura is nothing but we have toast messages. Some syntax is there, we will discuss. Okay, and the Visual Force page, Apex messages are there, right? Classes are there, Apex messages are there, right? Here toast messages are there. Okay, toast messages. So here what we are doing, first we are trying to getting, so that value we are getting. If it is a empty, so this method we are using, $a dot util dot is empty, this method we are using. Now we want to display error, not alert boxes. I will not display alert box. What I will, again I will just go and search Google, how to display, how to display error message, error messages in Lightning Aura component, in Lightning Aura component, display error message in Lightning Aura component. So toast messages are there, we will just go and use in the next session. We will discuss about, see, these are toast messages. Okay, these are some toast messages are there. In the next session we will discuss. Okay, this is for today's session. So my suggestion is, don't put more concentration what is these tags. If you have time, you have to go through this one and put more concentration on the business logic. Okay, this is for today's session. In the next session we will, thanks
This
to time.
conference
You have
will
time,
now be recorded.
just go to HTMLs, basic HTML. w3schools.com is there. Okay, w3schools.com, schools.com, and the CSS style sheets also we will call it as a style sheets. Just we added this class, right? Class. Okay, just we added this class. Basic information is enough. Basic information is enough. Okay, and the next one is some JavaScript. JavaScript, don't go anything. If you have time, then go through this one. Okay, basic information. Okay, what is, how to create a table, and what is this style sheets, some basic, how to declare variables, like that. Okay, this is enough. Okay, and this is for today.